Okay. After all that fun stuff with frequency tables on the front side is done, many of you are probably very happy to get to the back side. All right, this is the data for the back side. They gave us these 10 pumpkins, of which one of these pumpkins is way bigger than the other ones. I was trying to get you to talk about the fence idea. I want you to be rest assured there is a problem with number 12. I've eliminated number 12. Okay? All I want you to do is get up to, I guess, number 11. All right, I've entered the data here. I called it pumpkins because that's what they were. And then I did one variable statistics, which you guys are getting very good at. Okay, so now, if you don't know what all these things are at this point, then this is the time to fix the problem before you take your quiz. That yellow thing is the mean. This pink thing I'm about ready to do right here is the sample standard deviation. This thing I'm going to make light blue is the top of the variance equation. And then this stuff in here I'm going to make red, just type-wise. All that. Oh, I made a pink. I didn't want to make it pink. I'll make it red. Maybe I'll make it red. All right. N is 10. This right here is the population standard deviation. We probably won't use that a whole lot. That was what would happen if you would add those numbers together. These are the box and whisker plot datas, and 10 is nice to know. So, regardless of the questions we had, we basically need to know these red numbers and then these three here. Now, we could have used these to find standard deviation, but you guys were getting pretty tired of doing standard deviation in the way that you knew how to do it with the difference, so I didn't make you do that. Okay, now, what are the things that we want to be able to do with this? Well, I'm pretty sure that we asked about range. And if you remember, range is just the difference between, you can state it as an interval, and I'm going to. If I'm going to state the range as an interval, then the range as the interval would be the min to the max. And the min would be 1.1 to, I guess, this 412.7. That's the range as an interval. If we wanted to talk about range as a value, we would have to actually do the difference of those two. The range of the value is going to be the difference between this 412.7 and that 1.1. That's the range as the value. All right, we're also asking about IQR. I hope you all know that IQR uses this number, the Q1 score, which I'm going to highlight in, I don't know, let's say light gray. And then we also need this number here. It's basically the box part of the box and whisker. So if I want to know the IQR as an interval, then I'm basically going to state the low, which in this case is 8.8, to the high, which not the high, but I guess the edges of the box. So the Q1 score 8.8, and then Q3 score 25.1. All right, that's as an interval. Now we want you to also do some stuff with it, so I'm going to do IQR as a value. And to do that, we're going to take that 25.1 and we're going to subtract that 8.8. All right, so 16.3. Now, I kind of messed up. I have a typo on my formula for fences. That's why we're going to get rid of that question. We really just need to know, like, what are the numbers we're going to use, and we'll spend some time on Thursday fixing what's broken about the quiz and maybe doing some stuff with fences, but we'll see how the quizzes go. So if I want to know what 1.5 IQR is, I take this 1.5 and I multiply by 16, or 16.3. So 1.5, the IQR is that number. 3 times the IQR is going to be basically, if I could ever get my thing to type it the way I want it. Why is it not letting me do that? All right. 3 IQR is literally taking 3 times the 16.3. All right, that would be the end of the data like manipulation that we need to do. I'll have to take a look at it. If we had to do variance, which we may have to, say I wanted to know the variance of the sample, then I would take this number here, this giant number here, and divide it by 9. All right, that's the variance of the sample. Okay, if I wanted to know the standard deviation, well, I already know the standard deviation. It's right there. The sample standard deviation is there. But just say for giggles, I want to make sure that it is in fact right. I can take the square roots of this number, and it should be this number right here. Now, another way to find the variance of the sample is I could have taken this number right here, and I could have squared it. Notice how they're the same. Those are the two different ways you can find variance. So I've labeled all the things that we needed. I've talked about this. We're going to do a box and whisker plot with this data. Okay, to do a box and whisker plot, I'm going to take the pumpkin thing, and then, okay, that's what it's going to look like eventually. But if I put a page in here, and I just do data and statistics, I can click on this and make it a pumpkin. All right, that's a dot plot. Remember our menu button. Our menu button would pull basically some options up, and the option that I want is a box plot. All right, and you can see that if you hover over these things, it will tell you all the really important things. But in reality, the only real value out of graphing this, if we're going to only have one set of data, is seeing this dot right here. And that dot right here is called an outlier. And we're not going to talk about that before we take this quiz. All right, thank you for watching.